Hey everyone, Dirk here, GC Blues 45. Now, folks, I'm sorry I didn't do the draft video yesterday like I said I was, but we can still do it. It took me a while to get the sheets done, but I got them. Here they all are, all 7 rounds. If you want them, I'll probably do a whole video on the draft itself, but if you want one of these sheets, I'll sign them, send them to you for $10. $10. Just let me know if you want one. All right, folks, let's get into the grades. Now, folks, my grades on this were solely based on a few things: the number of picks they had in each round, especially first round picks, also how they picked and what they needed. So that's how I based my grades on. So here we go. Starting off with the New York Islanders, they got an A plus. New York Rangers, they did pretty decent. They got a B plus. The New Jersey Devils, they got an A minus. They did pretty decent in the draft. I have to admit they did. They surprised me. The Columbus Blue Jackets, I gave them a B minus in the draft. They did decently. Um, I was surprised. Some teams didn't have a first round pick. Columbus didn't have no first round picks. So no, they had 2 first round picks, but they didn't get some key members. Um, Philly, they really surprised me. Um, Getting 8 picks in the draft, and they didn't get no goalie, but they did good, so I gave them a C minus. Pittsburgh, they really went at it. 13 picks in the draft. They got a lot of key components, which helped them, so I had to give them an A plus. The Washington Capitals um, did decently. Also, they didn't get the goalie though, and a right ringer. That's one thing that hurt them. But I still gave them a C. Carolina, they did good. They got the goalie in their first round, their first pick, um, which was in round 2. They didn't have a first round pick, so that did hurt them a little. So I give them an A though. Not an A plus, not an A minus, an A. So that's still decent. Nashville, um, they did pick up a left winger, but they still did a decent job. I gave them a B plus. Dallas, despite not having a first or second round pick and not picking up a left winger or defense, I still gave them a solid B minus. As for the Blues need some help. They needed some defense. They didn't get none. Hopefully, they could get some during the free agency, which starts Tuesday. But they did pick up a goalie, which is great. Helps out Bennington and Hofer. Um, but they picked up 2 right wingers. With that being said, I gave us a C minus. It could have been lower, but I think the solid C minus is better. For Chicago, having no second or sixth round pick, but picking up a goalie which they needed, even though I don't like the team, they got what they needed. They got a goalie in defense, and basically they picked up at least one from every position, which is great. They picked up 3 centers, which is great. I had to give them an A plus. I had to. Minnesota, no first, third, or 6th or 7th round picks. Um, they didn't pick up a goalie, which they need. So, but they did decently. But I had to give them a D. The but that's not that is the lowest grade so far. A D is so far the lowest grade. Winnipeg, despite not having a second or sixth round pick, at least having one pick in the other rounds, they did not pick up a goalie, which they did need, which I think they need to help out Hagenbeck. Um, but they did decently, so I gave them a B. Colorado, um, only three picks, no first round, no second round, fifth, sixth round, and they didn't pick up what they needed. They did pick up at least two defense players, but it's not enough. I gave them a D minus, which is now currently the lowest grade in this draft. A D minus. Utah, well, I was shocked with Utah. Despite not having a seventh round pick, they did pretty decently um, by picking up um, players in the first six rounds. And they got one of each at least, which I'm happy for. Three defense players, so I had to give them an A plus. Vegas, um, no first round pick, but they did decently, so I had to give Vegas, despite picking up a defense and two centers and a right winger, I had to give them a C plus. Anaheim, well, with Anaheim, man, they cleaned up too. They did a pretty good job also. Um, by picking up 10 picks. That's right, 10 picks. They got 10 picks in this draft. Um, they got a goalie, which is great because they traded Gibson. So that was key. And so I was happy about that. They picked up four defense players. So I had to give Anaheim an A plus. So by the way, here are the reviews of the grades so far. All the way to Anaheim. Islanders A plus, Rangers B plus, New Jersey A minus, Columbus B minus, Philadelphia C minus, Pittsburgh A plus, Washington C, Carolina an A, Nashville B plus, Dallas a B minus, St. Louis C minus, Chicago A plus, Minnesota D, Winnipeg B, Colorado D minus, Utah A plus, Vegas C plus, and Anaheim A plus. Now for LA, whew, a total of nine picks. They did pretty decently, having a pick in every round, but they didn't pick up no right winger, but they did great. I gave them an A. San Jose, despite not having a six round pick, but did a great job with their nine picks they got. I have to give the San Jose Sharks an A minus. I mean, a solid A also. For Seattle, despite not having a fourth or a sixth round pick, they did pretty good with the other rounds, especially having two in the seventh round. With the six picks they got, four defense players, a right winger, and the center they picked up. They could have picked up a goalie, which they needed. Hopefully, they could do something like that in the free agency period. I gave them a C minus. Vancouver, um, despite no fourth round pick, they did decently. With their six picks, they did great. They got the goalie that they needed, which will help them. Hopefully, he'll come along the way soon. Um, four centers and a right winger. I give him a C minus also. Calgary, uh, despite no fourth round pick, they did a great job with their six picks. And I have to say, or should I say, 7 picks that they had. And they didn't pick up a goalie, but they still did a good job. I gave them a B minus. Edmonton, um, despite no first or second round pick, they did great um, with their 5 picks, picking up a key spot in each round that they did. So I gave Calgary a no, sorry, I gave Edmonton an A, which was great. Um, Boston, um, despite no seventh round pick, but they did great. They had 7 picks. Um, but didn't pick up a goalie. I was hoping they did, but they didn't. But still decent grade. I gave them a D plus. Still passing. So, but if you don't pick up a key thing, especially something that you need, that's gonna hurt you. Buffalo, um, they picked up 2 goalies, and in their 9 picks, um, I was kind of shocked how they did, so I gave them a B plus. Detroit, they got their goalie. They did a pretty good job. At least 1 pick. They had 2 in the fourth round, which really helped them. So I had to give Detroit an A minus. Detroit, oh no, sorry, Montreal. They picked up 2 goalies also, but they didn't pick up a left winger. But in their 9 picks they had, I had to give Montreal a B. Toronto, no, sorry, Ottawa. In the 7 picks they had, I'm sorry, 6 picks they had, they picked up a goalie, actually 2 goalies, which was great. Also, but they didn't pick up a center. But I gave them a B minus. Toronto, in their 6 picks, I gave they didn't pick up a goalie, which they kind of need to help them get past a certain level. But they did pretty good, so I gave them a C plus. Tampa, in their 8 picks, picking up a goalie, defense, and some good forwards. I gave them an A minus. And the defending Stanley Cup champions, they picked up a goalie, which is kind of decent. And they picked up some forwards, but he didn't pick up a center. But I still gave him a C minus. So that's about it, folks. Tell me what you guys think. Too lenient, too stern on a grade? You tell me. Was I too lenient, too stern, or was I just right on the grades? You tell me, and if you got any questions, I'll be pleased to answer them. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Until then, peace.